What's up, guys? It's Ryan. It is March 1st. It's about 6:56. I had the clock on in the truck. And we're up at the firehouse. We're going to do a truck update right now. I've changed a lot of things on the truck over the last couple of months. And I don't think I've covered all of them in the last few videos. So we're going to do an overview of what I've changed. There will be in-depth stuff as needed. I know with a couple things I need to do in-depth videos on those because there may be other people that are wondering, how did you do that? So with that, we're going to get right into it. The first and one of the biggest changes is we now have not one but two sets of working, mind you, working fog lights in the front end. I took off the Whelen mini halo beams that were on the front of the truck. They were the earlier version of the Whelen 700 series. I took those off because they weren't going to work for what I intended them for, or at least how I wanted to have them work. I really wish they would have, but they didn't. So I bought two pairs of these. I bought two pairs of each kit for another project down the road. So the outside ones are the DF1075K. Wow. DFK 1075 yellow driving fog light kit from Blazer International. And the inside ones are the DFK 1073s. The only difference between the two is the outside is the yellow bulb and the inside is the white bulb. They are all H3 55 watt bulbs. So they look the same, but obviously the yellow bulb produces the yellow beam, white is white. The yellow is independently controlled from the headlights by the toggle switch that's underneath my 4x4 control in the truck, and the whites are tied into the headlight circuit. That's one of the things I need to do an in-depth video on at some point of how I did that. I actually did some research and I could control them with the factory headlight switch. I just had to put a different style switch in and run some extra wiring and it would be all set. So we'll show you that at some point, but for right now this is just an overview video. Up top we have Napa Par 4416A bulbs in the front of the light bar now. I took out the blue ones because I still wanted to have amber flashers. So I popped those in right before a snowstorm actually, and I was using them that night as a recovery vehicle, which worked out really great. A lot of people got help that night. I chose the 4416s because I wanted the spot pattern in the front and then more of a broad flood in the back. So I put the 4415As, which were the fog lights, so to speak, in the back, and then the spotlights are in the front. So these just straight beam. And moving back, we put a new toolbox on from iDelta. I got this from Napa for about $100, I want to say. It was a relatively cheap toolbox, and it worked. It's doing pretty well. It's got some rust issues, obviously. It's more surface than anything. I just need to go through and take it apart, undercoat it, and put it back on the truck. So it's not going to stay white. The only reason it still is because I just haven't had time to put that on. Anyway, the cargo light up top as well as the third eye brake light up there have all been converted to LEDs. I did the LED conversion in the brake light right after the truck came back from getting the box replaced because the bulb was intermittent. It was kind of working, but at the same time it wasn't. And it turns out that it actually melted the plug. So I fixed all that, put the LED in, and then over the last few weeks, I put the LEDs in on the outside. So that has all been done. And then the other big thing in the back is I put in auxiliary reverse lights in the corners of the bumper because even though I love the 3156 LEDs that I have in the truck for the reverse lights and the counterpart 3157s and the taillight work great. I have no complaints with them whatsoever. They are visible for miles. The reverse lights, not so much. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, those are extremely dim. Well, they're not as dim. They're not dim. I incorrectly spoke. The housing just doesn't catch the light off of them like the F250 housing that they were in before did. So I wouldn't recommend putting them into this style of taillight, which was used in the 97 to 03 F150s and 250s, and then the 99 to 2007 F250 Super Duties, 350 Super Duties, and occasionally you could find the 450 Super Duties with the pickup bed attached to it. But if you have this style of taillight on your vehicle, don't use the LEDs in the reverse light. They won't work. Or they'll work electrically, but for throwing a beam, they won't work at all. So these are Blazer 6 LED pods. I got these from AutoZone. They have fluted flood optics, so they throw more light than just a spot beam, which the spotlights look more like this, like the Alpina cubes up top. So it's more of a projection than a spot beam. So those are really nice. Those are working out well for me. So let's go ahead and get this puppy fired up. As with everything, the fog lights are not connected, or they don't work with the headlight control until the truck is in the run position. I could go ahead and turn the headlights on. The fog light indicator will turn on. This is one of the differences I had to change, or this is one of the things I had to change. The difference between the old control and the new control is I can do this. That's the only thing. But as you can see, the fog lights do not turn on. So we're gonna go ahead and go to run. We are up to 151,000 miles on this truck. We put about 40,000 miles on it since I got it. I'm pretty happy with this truck. I love the V10. It's had a couple of issues, but nothing too major that I couldn't get over. So we're gonna wait for the radio to come up because I gotta stop that. Come on. There we go. So now that we got our headlights on, we're gonna go ahead and turn the white fog lights on. And you can see those came on successfully. Get that door shut. And there we go. And again, the whites are on the inside, the yellows are on the outside. They're extremely bright. Again, you can see them on the wall. They throw a decent beam. I'm very happy with these. I think I paid 17 bucks for this kit. And then I also paid about 17 bucks for the yellows, which are also on now. And again, the yellows are independently controlled off of that toggle switch, which I will show you in a sec, but it's nothing you guys haven't seen before. There's that. And then with the fog lights off, but the yellows are still on. Again, very nice beam. You can see the yellows are on the bottom there, and then the headlights are up there. And then just the yellow, which it looks a lot more yellow in the video than it does in real life. And if you look directly at it, they look white, but obviously they're throwing a yellow pattern. And then the switch for that is right there. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and pop this thing into reverse. There, got the parking brake on. We'll also turn. We'll leave that on. And you can see the reverse lights are on. That's what those look like. And then the cargo light is also on. The cargo light is not tied into any circuit besides the cargo light. I just left the door open so that stayed on. But they do not come on with the reverse lights. So that's what those look like. And then shift out of that. That's gonna stay on. And there are the amber flashers in the bar. The one complaint I have is, for some reason, and this has been a problem with this bar since I built it, one of the mounting plates for the stationary lights is warped. I haven't figured out which side it is, but one of them always aims down, as evidenced by here. One of them always aims down, while the other one is up higher. I still have to figure that one out. I think it might just be the frame of the bar, because if you look right here, that side's down and that side's up. So I might try flipping that mounting plate around and see if that does anything. But other than that, that is it with the truck. We still have our still have the same switch on the floor here, same Motorola XTL 5000 radio, and our Kurt brake controller up there. So thank you very much for watching. Again, I will do the in-depth videos for some of this stuff at a later point, but for right now, I'm just going to stick with the overview. Again, thanks for watching, and see y'all out on the road.